What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hybrid Network and yet another DC Extended Universe topic video. Today, I want to talk about a character that I haven't really brought up on this show that often, mostly because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about in respect to the DC Extended Universe. That is Aquaman. Again, I haven't really talked about him because not a lot about his movie has warranted discussion on this show, unless, Black Manta got cast, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about today. Today I wanted to talk about just his role in the DC Extended Universe. Just looking at it on the surface, this might be a little bit of a controversial sort of discussion. Definitely will be interesting to see what you guys have to say, but when I've been thinking about it more and more recently, I've kind of come to the conclusion that I think Aquaman seems like it's set up to be the movie that kind of ushers in a new era for DC and Warner Brothers. And what I mean by that is that Batman v Superman was released, right? And there's like this whole plan. They were already going full set ahead with like Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and Justice League. They had all this stuff planned out. This was the tone that they were going for. And BVS gets released, and critically it doesn't do very well. Yeah, it makes a lot of money, that much can't be denied, but the movie just doesn't seem to hit the ballpark in terms of critical reception. And seeing a lot of what people found problems with, Warner Brothers tried to quickly rectify this, in spite of the fact that Suicide Squad was already pretty deep into its production, and, well, we kind of know how that turned out. I'm not really going to talk about it if you guys already know about it, because it's a whole thing, but what you just have to know is that Suicide Squad kind of suffered, I think, for Batman v Superman's shortcomings. And a lot of people out there kind of see Wonder Woman and Justice League as being the Geoff Johns era of movies, but I mean, those things were already in production at some point by the time BVS was released. I mean, they already had their old game plan and everything, this whole infrastructure. There was nothing to really do at that point. They couldn't just change the movies up. The most that they could do was try to rectify tone or maybe go through and just lighten things up a little bit. In the end, we don't really know how that's going to turn out. There's rumors right now that Wonder Woman and Justice League are a mess. I don't put a whole lot of stock into that. I don't really try to listen to things like that because I don't know how true they are, but the rumor is there. I mean, DC is not the best when it comes to PR, and they haven't really come out to rectify that. I know Patty Jenkins says a lot of stuff on her Twitter, but it's just, of course, the director's going to say the movie's good. I mean, what else are they going to say? Just, yep, they're right. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to go into this because not only with Wonder Woman and Justice League, there's been a lot of stuff with other movies coming out. We have basically Batman, Ben Affleck dropped down as the director. This isn't necessarily a terrible thing because you can kind of understand why he dropped out, well, with pressure from everybody. And I mean, the dude's producing it, he's writing in it, he's Batman. Like, that's a whole lot of stuff that you have to do for one movie, not to mention putting directing on top of it. So I can understand why the guy would drop out there, but I mean, it was still like a big blow for people. And then The Flash comes out and it's getting a page one rewrite. They're pretty much basically reworking the script. They're keeping the characters, I think, but everything else is getting completely reworked. So the movie's definitely not coming out by 2018. I don't see how that's a possibility unless they, Suicide Squad it. But Aquaman, nothing really about Aquaman's come to the light in terms of just, bad publicity. Flash had a lot of stuff with it in terms of losing two directors and Batman, and then there's all the rumors of Justice League and Wonder Woman. All these things just kind of coming out about these movies, but Aquaman's kind of stayed relatively untouched. No one's really touching Aquaman. I have to wonder, is this everyone sees Aquaman as the beacon of hope for the DC Extended Universe? Do people look at this movie to be, alright, Aquaman's gonna show us if this is a franchise worth investing in? I just find it ironic that a character like Aquaman, who was considered a joke for so many years, could end up being the one that spearheads the idea that the DCEU is a franchise worth staying in. I think it's also fair to note that I think Aquaman is the official start of the Geoff Johns era of things because he was being worked on by the time of BVS, but I don't think they were as far in production on Aquaman as they were with Justice League, Wonder Woman, and Suicide Squad. So Geoff Johns would obviously have a little bit more creative direction with Aquaman as opposed to the other movies, or, the other previous movies, because I assume he has a big hand going forward. But that's kind of what the question I wanted to bring to you guys. Is Aquaman the movie that you think is the one that people will unanimously look to and be, yeah, this is the movie that joins everybody together? At the end of the day, just looking at it, it seems kind of interesting that Aquaman seems to be the one that people aren't really touching or sort of regarding as a golden boy in terms of the media. In all honesty, Aquaman is the only one that I have any big, thorough investment in, and it's the one that I'm looking forward to the most. I mean, it might be blasphemy for a DC fan to say they're not excited for Justice League or Wonder Woman, but I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of approach these things as being a movie fan as opposed to just a comics fan. I mean, frankly, I have not been that impressed movie-wise. But that's neither here nor there. The real question is, what do you guys think? Do you think Aquaman is the one that people are looking to be sort of the big, unanimous picture that unites all people together within the DC Extended Universe? Let me know in the comments down below. I know that this might be a little bit of a controversial topic, but I'm still interested to see what you guys have to say. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the Hybrid Network and keep up with all of our videos daily. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next time on the next DC Extended Universe topic video.